Too much meth.
And we are live.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, everybody. How's it going? Welcome back.
Started with meth.
Good to see you here this Thursday. We are playing Land Between Two Rivers tonight, and before we get started, let's take a minute to see how everybody's doing and what's up. Just what's up in their life. I don't know. Just how's it going, Grant? Start us off. How's it going, man?
Oh, a long time ago, at the end of the world, the people were dying, but hope was not yet lost, for Baton Kaito still sang the Song of the Stars. Sorry, for a second I was playing Polaris. I'm doing very well. I had an excellent break from most of my duties over the holidays. Here at WebDM, we raised $1,800 for 2 charities across many games, which was great. We had a lot of people come out from the community, and it was a rockin' and rollin' time. I'm currently training to become a Super Saiyan, as you can tell by my little outfit, but I just don't think I can get angry enough. Grr.
You can't get your level that high.
Dude, Kakarot, I've been foiled!
Yeah, it's not gonna happen.
Over 200!
Lindy, how are you doing?
I am doing okay. I am happy to be here. This is my first TTRPG of the new year, so I'm really excited about that. Happy to be here. Happy to be home. I had a pretty holidays, so I'm glad that it's past that for the most part, and to be home and playing some D&D again.
There you go. Excellent. And TK, how are you?
It's me. It's TK. I've been sick for like 3 weeks. Now I'm not, so that's great. I did it.
Yay.
Power of my mind.
There
All
you
me.
go. No help.
Proud of me now, Mom. Having a good time. I'm excited. A little stressed. It's fine.
Well, it sounds like a Thursday.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Sober, stressed. That's how it is.
That's just how it is.
Yeah.
There you go. Life goes on. Anna, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing all right. Not too shabby. I'm excited. It's also my first D&D game of the year, which is pretty exciting. And yeah, that's it. We're going to play some games and chill.
Yes, very much so. Yes. And it's chilly. It's chilly where I am. I don't know if it's chilly where you guys are, but yeah, very much so. And Josh, how are you doing?
I'm doing well, Jim. Thanks for asking. 100% well.
That sounds not ominous or nothing. There you go.
Doing fine. Oh, I'm currently drawing a version of Razzle Sin.
Nice.
That had her head cut off and replaced with a Minotaur's head, and then was resurrected with said head still attached.
Interesting.
Hopefully, I'll be posting that soon.
I'm curious. I'm really excited to see that. Thank you. That sounds really awesome. So great. Like I said, I hope everybody's holiday break was great, that they had a nice relaxing time, and that you are ready to start the new year full of vim and vigor. Please check out our sponsors, Tabletop Loot, and whatever it is. Valentine's Day is coming up, right? And you know what you need? You need as many dice as you can to make a 3-dimensional heart, and you need them in as many colors in order to get all of the different variations of purple and deep reds and the pinks that a heart might have, the blues and everything. So I think that Tabletop Loot is where I would start for a project like that. And maybe the love of your life wants a dice heart for Valentine's Day, so check it out. When we last played,
Take my time.
Grant's already started with a heart of gold, and there we go.
Sorry.
We had celebrated a very merry Land Between Two Rivers Christmas as the party celebrated Life Day, which is totally not a Kashyyyk holiday that the Wookiees celebrate, and is totally something completely different. And and then went their separate ways for a while as Ellie recuperated from magical surgery, which cured her of her frail constitution, and the rest of the group spread across the wasteland, following their separate goals and paths. The heat has passed, but rumors of war were on the wind as the party began their journey through the wastes. And as we get started here, I'd like to just throw it to the players and let us know sort of where we find your character at the end of this 90 days. Sort of what they're up to, and what they're doing at the moment, and if there's I don't know, anything of note that has happened since we last saw them. Anybody have an idea?
Well, here's what Gildan did after he left the Medusa's lair. He would have cast legend lore on the monolith that was hinted at very early on in the Land Between Two Rivers. He would have started with that to try to... He had some idea where the location would be, but he'd want to start assessing this monument.
Denizen knows where the monument is, but they've refused to directly help.
Maybe
Instead,
let it be known that you know.
I think Gildan would have picked up on it. He's not necessarily
I think you flat out told him. I recall last episode you told me that you flat out. You're like, I know all about So
yeah, he was when he was connected to the hive mind, or when they were connected to the hive mind, they got a vision. Because they would get stuff from Lang sometimes. So yeah.
So for the audience,
they wouldn't really be
how this spell works, in case you haven't used a 5th level legend lore spell.
Legend Lore's great.
Something more out of I'd say I've seen it more used in, like, say, 1st edition D&D, where people want to know about the Tomb of Horrors, etc. So you describe a person, place, or object, in this case the monolith, and the spell will bring to my mind a brief summary of the significant lore about the thing that I named. The lore might consist of current tales, forgotten stories, or even secret lore that has never been widely known. If it's not legendary, I gain no information. Knowing Jimmy a bit, you get no information. It's just a stone in the desert, right? Winks at the camera. Then the information I know will be accurate, but it might be couched in figurative language. Thank you to D&D Beyond for the wonderful overlay and the ability to access all that information at the touch of my fingertips. # grants not sponsored. But yes, so so I cast legend lore. I've seen the monolith in my dreams. I've had conversations about it. So that's what I'm looking for.
Yeah. As you perform your spell, first off, the legend lore is a spell that I associate with as being sort of like the beginning of a fairly high-powered magic. You start being able to answer big questions with a spell like legend lore, so it deserves a bit of attention, I think. So, how does Gildan cast the spell? What does the magic of it look like? It takes about 10 minutes, and how does the information come to him? Like, in what form would you get it?
Okay.
Give me some time to think about.
Yeah, so here's how it looks in the fiction. So Gildan opens his bag and pulls out things. He notices the vacant spot where his Dictionary of the Waste used to be. He pulls out his bugbear scalp that Icky gave him. He pulls out sort of these things and he kind of lays them out. Then at the bottom, he has a very small, just kind of wooden plank. And from there, he pulls out several, they're almost like figurines. They're not quite puppets, but they're figurines that he lays out on this wooden plank like a stage. Then he lies down on his stomach and he begins to stare at the figurines until they reveal to him in divine, or essentially they begin to reveal to him the lore of the The monolith, and this is almost like a little puppet show that plays out in his mind.
Okay. Your Gildan's figurines revealed to him
Action figures.
that this is a weapon from a war yet waged that has made its way here. It is capable of magic that could rewrite the laws of reality, or even greater if you could master it. The danger of it is that the attempt to master it could kill you.
Okay, and am I able to see or divine past masters at all? I'm trying to discern the type of people that have sought for this monolith, because I could go and try to take control of it and maybe die. Or this is something we have to protect. I don't know.
Yeah, it's a... It exists in absolute time. It technically is yet to be created, but once it will be created, it exists in all times and places, rather. And so it's something that has been here forever, but has some sort of powerful compulsion that keeps people from thinking about it, from actively looking for it, and sort of masks itself with a very powerful, which you would take to be an illusory effect, or almost an enchantment effect, something that affects the mind of the person.
Excellent.
As for who made it and what it is, that is beyond even something like legend lore. Is the beings that made it could mask themselves from that magic.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't want to know who made this. That sounds like dangerous information. Yeah, and with that, I think it's time to seek it out. Even if I'm seeking it out through my dreams, I'd very much like to see it with my own eyes.
You know, it's somewhere in the Yellow Wastes.
At one point, I had coordinates. That's essentially where I'm going to start, almost like a pilgrimage, and I'd invite Ninizen to come along, and I'd want to assess Ninizen's their mood, essentially, regarding this.
Ninizen would, they would have come along even if you hadn't asked. They're keeping an eye on you. It's not that they don't trust you. They do. They just think you're dangerous.
I think they have a little crush on me.
Platonic, maybe.
A little bit.
I mean,
like to watch me from the back, my little goblin strut.
It's our natural chemistry. That's what it is.
Swole.
So if you're looking for an eval, cautious, but not interfering directly, and not trying to hinder you.
Sorry, I just read goblin squats in chat, and it's like, all right.
And then the last question I have for Gildan before we see what some of the other crew have been up to is where are you when you cast the legend lore? Like you had mentioned earlier, I think before the stream began, that like once you sort of find out that there's been intrigue at Mistress Nethria's court, Gildan kind of moves on from there. So where does he move on to? Where do if we physically find Gildan?
I'd begin, I believe, traveling south. I think the first thing that I would do is I'd start making my way to Trade Town, so somewhere between the Medusa and Trade Town.
Gotcha. There's yeah. You actually probably find yourself at that little way stop that you guys met. That you guys met Frank and Jeff. And had a stare down with Shade, the one of Ishtar's crew. So that sort of place then is where Ninazin and Gildan find themselves. How about anybody else have anything that jumps out at them, or for Icky, Mur, and Ellie?
I think Ellie, like the last 90 days, she's been training really hard, like mentally and physically. You know, she's learned a lot. She's learned so much throughout the past couple of months that I think she feels, or she has more of a feel for what the world really is, especially after her best friend dying. So I guess it kind of opened her eyes in a way.
Mhm.
So she's for sure training really hard.
Gotcha. And you were learning a language as well. Do you have a language in mind, or
Well,
you'd asked Anders to pick? I didn't know if like you had one in mind or wanted me to pick something.
yeah. Well, if you want to pick something, you're more than welcome to. I really didn't have one.
Anders would have probably selected Goblin, as it's one of the more common languages out there in the Wastes. Thought it'd be useful.
Yeah, I'm down for that.
Yeah.
Thank goodness. I thought our mom's secrets were in danger. I was like, oh,
Not
Like,
infernal.
not infernal. Don't do it.
Now, yeah. Now Gildan won't know that I know.
Mhm.
I'm just gonna
That's funny.
Swelly.
That's funny.
Swelly.
Yes.
And so are still with, is Ellie still with Icky, or
Mhm.
has
Yes.
you okay, so you're still,
Yeah.
then how about what's Icky been up to?
Icky has also learned some new skills. She has spent a lot of time at Baloo's dugout trying to get a feel for like the appreciation and the reverence that he had for nature. Unfortunately, Icky is not, she's more bestial than she is like natural worldly occurrences like he is. So her newly acquired druidic knowledge takes the form of affinity with animals. So she has been spending time kind of like going through all of his research, his ramblings, his weird diaries that he keeps in the back that he thinks nobody knows about or thought nobody knew about. But after picking up Ellie, most of the time had been training her newest companion.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ooh.
Are you ready for like a
Yes.
debutante's ball?
Yes, I'm so excited because it's like, imagine like the camera's like panning to the dugout and everything with the servitors out doing whatever they're doing, and Icky is like throwing meat out into the desert, and this little velociraptor is running out to get it and then bringing it back.
Perfect.
I'm so excited.
That's so great.
I love my tiny new velociraptor, and it fits in her bag. So
Nice. Excellent.
Nice.
its name is Slip Slash.
Slip Slash.
Yes.
Sweet. All right. And so yeah, the servitors are just finishing up construction on a basically like a false grave or false tomb to Baloo there at the dugout, which has kind of become a sort of another way stop along the aimless roads of the Wasteland, where people kind of come and just sit and chill and
That's what he wanted.
share stories. Now the question I have, and this might involve Josh, your commentary. What sort of things does Icky learn from these journals and notes and ramblings that Baloo
Dear diary,
might have?
I'm in love.
Like anything about his past, anything about
His name is Frank.
right?
He, right,
Definitely that.
right. There's got to be some of that. At some point he would mention his past and that he was that he was kind of like an orphan kid adopted by a group of arcanists, and not much into that other than he has like this father figure, person who taught him druidic magic, and kind of espoused the ideals of like true reverence of nature outside of Yosper, outside of the the confines of the like religious organization that that they've created. Why am I blanking on the name?
The Fellowship of Anders.
Yeah. Yes. And then throughout, throughout, he talks about just how much he doesn't trust. He doesn't trust that or the gods or any of the thing that they stand for. But really, for him, it's all about just coming to the conclusion that like he's kind of an animist. He kind of believes that everything has some kind of sentience, and so that means you should really, if you're going to destroy anything, including something in anime, you should have a reason to do it, and that also means that the world is in a lot of pain, and continues to be in pain, and he's concerned that organized magical power is just yet again going to hurt the world.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go. Deep thoughts from Blue. So that's where we find Icky and Ellie then. And let's check in with Myrrh. You and Axe Dreamer have been touring the wastes, yes?
Yeah, we have. Myrrh did lots of talking and studying with Anders during Ellie's surgery, basically magical medical treatment.
Mm-hmm.
And then once they did the mom swap for basically rehab to get her, all ready to go back into the wild, get, pumped up and ready to go. Myrrh's not that kind of person. So she's, all right, Icky, this is your perfect. I'm gonna go do my stuff. She's been traveling around with Axe Dreamer, trying to get more dirt on Ishtar, and also checking in on her secret underground magic users organization, touching base with all those guys, checking in, letting them know, hey, some stuff's probably going to be happening with the Fellowship soon. Keep you posted, kind of thing. And
nice. Just
basically being Myrrh, getting all that info, and I'll getting to know Bekroithic a little bit too.
Yeah, he seems like an interesting. He does not seem to know that he's a spellcaster.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't really know that he's. He knows that he can like protect himself
precious
from things. Or that he can like hit something really hard, but doesn't really understand a lot of that. However, everywhere you go, he's like laying on hands and just like helping put up a wall or that kind of thing. Need some firewood chops.
And I definitely with the new cloning research chatted with Anders about that and maybe took some samples from Bekroithic, like, oh, you don't need this piece of hair, just in case.
Yeah. You don't need this. Yeah, it's fine. It's just hair.
Yeah.
While out there in the wastes, though, the rumors of this conflict that's to the north are really all that most people can talk about. And everywhere you went,
definitely get info
streams of refugees and things like that. Seems as though at some point over that time that you were out there was a big battle of some kind at a place called Jando's Rock, and it's all anyone could talk about after it happened. Is there seemed to be whatever force was moving through the wasteland had been checked, and now the two warring parties were in a stalemate near there. So,
is there any information on who these two warring parties are?
Oh yeah, yes. One of them is what everyone refers to as the Devil's Army. And it, as far as anyone can tell, is an infernal force that came out of the portal.
Cool.
And is sort of making its way mostly.
I'm rooting for those guys.
It has it's paralleled the Drow territory, and they've been keeping a watch on it. Like they could tell you a lot.
Okay, yeah.
But it's they met a hobgoblin force. The other Jando is the other warlord that fought them.
Okay.
And near a place called Ghost Hill.
Okay, hobgoblin.
And that's much further to the north than where you would have been. At least a couple of days to the north.
Cool.
So you guys are headed back to Trade Town, or where are you?
Yeah, once it got close to the time where Mur thought it'd be appropriate to return, they would go back to probably Baloo's house, because that's probably where the meetup point was going to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then we will start then with Mur and Bekroithwig arriving at Baloo's dugout, where Icky and Ellie have been spending the last 45 days or so. That's just to the south of the way stop that Gildan and Ninazin are in, and would be the next location if you were traveling to Trade Town to get to. So that if you want to get everybody in the same room again. Sorry, I was reading backstage chat. Let's start with that. So those of you out there, several things happen because Gildan, within 24 hours of you casting Legend Lore, someone else shows up in one of your dreams. We'll get to that in just a second. But Mur also gets a message from an old someone you haven't seen in a while, and Molly Mock, no relation, sends you a magical message. Says, I'm going to be in Trade Town in a couple of days. Would love to see if I can. Not traveling with the old crew anymore.
I imagine she's just driving the skiff and this happens, and so she's just like, nothing but Cryptic. It's fine.
Yeah.
The skiff just like veers to the side.
Lifts
like,
a little.
She like thinks about turning around. She's like, no.
And not
I'll see what I can do. I'll let him know where my house is, because I got a house right now.
And not long after, you get a second sort of magical message. This time via a tiny little bird.
Okay.
And it delivers its message to you that the Fellowship Council would like to see you as soon as convenient. They know that you've been touring, and as soon as you're back in Trade Town, there's a special assignment for you.
Oh, certainly, of course. Nice. Just boop, set it down. It's gonna be like, great.
Yay.
Infiltration. Hard. So many extra jobs.
And this back to Gildan, there's that first night after you cast the Legend Lore, a familiar figure appears in one of your dreams, and it's Memnon Wrath, the servitor who you had helped escape, and it's since been
my buddy
with the Drow. Mm-hmm. And he approaches you in your dream. Gildan, where are you at currently?
In my dream?
Yeah.
Oh, that's tough. Gildan is currently standing among the stars, and he's trying to remember the names of everyone. He has named the stars his entire life, and this evening it is a good opportunity to get all their names correct.
Memnon appears as like two unfamiliar stars side by side. The brightness of them increases until it sort of temporarily blinds Gildan, and when you look back, you see Memnon standing there. You've been inquiring about it, haven't you?
Yes.
I am with someone who has many answers. If you desire to know more, travel to the city of the ghouls and speak to Tengrath. I will be waiting.
See you soon. Time to bind Ninizen up. Nah. Summon a doppelganger Gildan to march in one direction. Gildan walks in the other. Good luck. Yeah, cool. I like that.
Just try it.
Do you have anything to say to him?
What can you tell me of Tengrath? What sort of person are they? How will they treat me?
Deceitful, manipulative. It's a demon, one that delights in cruelty and the pain of others, but the depth of its knowledge is vast.
Okay. Inform Tengrath that I would like to perform for them as a I'm gonna get myself killed. Get ready, guys. Roll up a new character for Brother Grant. Here it comes. I would very much like to perform for them.
It will be it will be a sight to see, I'm sure. I will inform Tengrath. When can we expect you?
How far is the city of ghouls from my body?
You see him, or at least the image of it, concentrate. Far if you have to walk. But
It's the only way to travel.
To the north, past the warring tribes that fighting out their little dispute.
I'll see if I can convince Mur to give me a lift. Who is valuable to Mur that I can lie to her about? Ellie's been kidnapped to the north.
Well, hi, army of people I'm related to. A whole lot of me.
Right. Yeah, unless you have another question, unless you have any questions for him, Mimnan's happy to let you have your dream back.
That's it. I've got to start planning how I'm going to trick the demon to do an inverted magic circle around it, then a planar binding, so I can have a demon to go kill that Medusa that broke my heart.
It's the only reason I introduce NPCs like this is so that
yeah, what story is it? There's my own story.
Then the star eyes of Memnon fade, and you are back to the familiar night sky that was your dream. And we'll go ahead and just that's sort of all the pre-game kind of stuff that I had lined up. So, Mur and Bekroithoik are arriving very shortly at the dugout.
I do like a slide. With the skiff,
the Wasteland Drift.
Yeah, Wasteland Drift. And I leave it there. And Ellie, Iki, are you here?
No.
Oh, of course.
As like Ellie sitting there reading a book about goblins.
I'll bet Baloo has many books about goblins in his house.
I bet you he does.
Is that how she learned goblin? She just picked it up really well, really fast.
All the smut.
Bugbears are goblinoids, but I'm gonna go with the joke. I'm gonna run with this bit until it loses all speed. Iki's
fan fiction novels.
Oh, yes, Baloo wrote his own fan fiction. Yeah, he's got like a secret panel in his closet. Iki's out back training Slip Slash. There are a lot of dead animals out there.
Doesn't really surprise her all that much.
It doesn't always take. this one worked out.
Right.
I understand completely. You have to, deal with things that do not are up to your standards.
Icky will poke her head around the corner and it is time to go.
Is it? I just arrived. Figured it was about the time. How's things been here?
Icky just like silently gestures at the giant tomb.
Oh, I forgot that was going to be a thing.
It's
Is it like a stupa?
yeah, it's sort of like carved into one of the caves that's around here, and done up in a sort of a. It's not like ostentatious or anything, but it's very obviously a tomb of some kind and like a shrine attached to it. There's false doors and traps. I mean, they spent like the last. I don't know. They were constructing it for at least 90 days. They're probably not even finished.
There's like a nude statue just made of not marble. It's like the Renaissance painting at the end of Ghostbusters 2.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's Baloo holding a goblin baby.
That's beautiful. I love it. All the feels.
Yeah, the servitors have just like disappeared. I don't even know where they are.
They kind of dispersed around the wasteland, it seems.
Yeah, Icky's just the case. Like, it is not finished. They have been gone for weeks.
Well, the craftsmanship is interesting.
I don't know what it is. I blame Gilded.
I do as well. But the good thing is this is staying here and it doesn't have to come with us anywhere. So.
It's like a 12-foot statue.
Right.
It's good. It makes for a good landmark. Turn out that.
Oh yeah, there's already been people who've like been by.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Old Icky would have charged them admission, but new Icky is just disturbed by this entire admission. New Icky's just like, what is this?
Right.
I hate it.
It's bad. Very bad.
I am assuming this is not a skitter step, the 15th. This is
Icky like picks it up like under its little velociraptor arms and says, slip slash.
There's lots of teeth.
Yes. And Icky like smiles and it's like the full picture.
It should prove very vicious then.
Ellie likes this one.
I looked up from my book. Just nods. Goes back.
Well, I got a message on the way here, and it seems I have to pay a visit into Trade Town. I am wanted for a job by the council.
Ugh.
I know. It's.
Will this take long?
Hopefully not. If I'm very fortunate, I can talk my way out of it altogether. Maybe just figure out what's going on. I've been very busy, so it's probably good I check in anyways.
Busy?
Traveling. Checking in on old acquaintances.
Icky's gonna assume that's like Mer stuff. This is just like, oh, this is like hell and high water stuff. That's not my business. He's like, okay, that's weird.
It's actually not related to her small business at all.
Icky just assumes that's what Mer does if Mer's not fighting. Because Icky doesn't know anything about the cabal of magicians that she's secretly
I did say something about it at Anders' place. So.
Did you? Oh,
yeah.
Icky is like me and did not remember.
Yeah.
Your underground railroad.
Yeah.
So Icky will catch up Mer on the things that Icky and Ellie have been doing, which is mostly sleeping out in the heat to kind of acclimate themselves to the weather, eating a lot of raw food, just a ton. Got Ellie on that paleo diet.
And I would definitely give you what I know about the conflict up north between the people fighting, because it's always good to know where people are fighting in the Wastelands for travel purposes.
Icky will look around and where is Gildan?
You know, that was one of my first thoughts when I heard about it. But I'm pretty sure the conflict started before we all split ways. So if it's escalated, I blame him. If not, yeah,
His fingers are in many. What is that food? And she like looks expectantly at Ellie. What is that?
And last y'all knew, he was at the Medusa's place, which is to the north of where y'all are at.
Maybe he is dead.
That it could be. I would not get your hopes up though.
Does Axe Dreamer look any different 3 months later?
Yeah, so Axe Dreamer has like spent most of this time. He's like he's collected bits of gear and like he wears a face mask
definitely
most of the time.
Could outfitted him because
Yeah,
it's a lot of magic users.
He's got like a face mask and wears like a bandana even underneath that.
Oh heck yeah!
And
we decided he looks like Donald Gleason.
Yeah,
Donald Gleason.
Like a I don't know. Is Donald ginger?
Yes,
I always imagine he's like
he's very Irish.
Yes, okay,
and very handsome.
That's what I was like. And so now he's got like bone armor on, or like insect chitin armor.
Heck yeah!
Yeah, and he has a proper axe now.
Nice.
Yeah, he's leveled up.
Perfect.
Yeah, Ellie would look up from her book and look towards Axe Dreamer. You look nice. And just goes back.
You look pretty healthy yourself.
Yeah, I've gained some muscle, apparently. And she like flexes a little bit. You can definitely tell she's like,
he's like, and you guys,
Mars just kind of like
right here.
No. Him saying that Ellie looks healthy is like the most. Like Icky's like.
You can start trading off like the side ab, right?
An 8-pack, you know.
Right, yeah. With the knobbly bit.
No. Icky's like, this is the most promiscuous conversation they've ever had. I will not allow it.
Yeah.
This is just it's just talking.
Yeah.
Trust me, I've spent the past 45 days with him. He's not flirting.
Yeah. He seems pretty committed to this, like, I love my goddess and I'm, kind of thing. But yeah.
We'll see how long that takes now that I have modified memory.
That's messed up.
Savage.
So you guys, yeah, right. You guys are getting reacquainted, and I guess I don't know. I had thought that the way I understood Gildan, they were on their way eventually. Is that yes, Grant?
Absolutely, especially if it makes it easier and more convenient.
Sure, why not?
Plus, Gildan's got little legs.
Walks everywhere. Then feel free for Gildan to arrive whenevs.
Yeah, and I think it's with just like last time with a great fanfare and little hag puppet's gonna go in. Old Hoggle the hag puppet.
You guys
Haggle,
hear
that was her name.
Hoggle and Haggle.
Hoggle and Haggle. There's two of them now, and this is like Punch and Judy. And Hoggle looks like a little Baloo. That's how we preserved his memory.
Wow.
Yes.
Is this where all the servitors went to? Did they go to meet you halfway through the desert?
And like tie me up, string me, and like tack me, cut off my own eyelids, and be like, "Look, if you survive this, you are the chosen
I was gonna say
one."
they have like palm branches that they're like laying one after the other for you to walk on.
I prophets do pretty well till the end of their story, so I don't think at this point I make out that well with the servitors, especially if one of them is like a 10th level monk assassin now that keeps his eyes on me, or their eye on me.
Yeah.
Pardon.
There's a lot of them that were at the Medusa's court who had, they're with the that army that you guys had also sent up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's where a lot of them are.
Okay. Yeah.
Nice.
So
Hey,
yeah.
Grant.
Yes.
Are you wearing this? Sorry, it's totally side note. Are you wearing a Vegeta jacket?
Mhm.
Okay, it's pretty dope, and I know where you got it. Carry on.
Nice.
I know where you shop.
And it was only $10.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So,
Did you get it, Hot Topic?
yes.
It's
Because I had to get that pink Sailor Moon leather jacket as well.
so cute. Anyway, sorry. Proceed.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I make my way over. All right, just to make sure, let's be clear, since I came in mid-sentence and just started nodding, because I was like, yeah. Where geographically in the world am I arriving?
You said you were traveling south, which was from the Medusa's court. You would have been traveling south towards Trade Town, and so you had just started the way stop, and then it's like less than a day to Baloo's dugout. Like, it's a good walk there, and so it's like I said, the next place south as you're traveling into Trade Town.
Okay.
The next place you'll reach is the tree if you travel downriver, or you could skip the tree and go straight to Trade Town.
All right. So, yeah, Gildan would have tall, bad, strong guy, and a new one, Fifi, as well as Haggle and Hoggle in the front, kind of leading their merry dance, announcing the advent of the great prophet of the waste. One of the remaining wonders of the world. Keyword remaining. There are few wonders left in this world. In fact, everything worth discovering has been discovered, for we live in an age of enlightenment. And
This is the song they sing so you guys like hear the puppets well before you see Gil. They precede him, and there's 5 of them, and they're all various animated servants, and they're singing a song. I'm sure there's cymbals and musical instruments. Gildan's arrival is imminent.
They're acting out the story of Gildan's brave deeds of when he killed that ooze creature. Single-handedly.
Ellie is shook by this song. She's just like...
They maintain eye contact with you the entire duration.
At least we know when he's coming. A full 20 minutes heads up.
Yeah, they do it. It's a whole thing.
This is like Jethro Tull half-an-hour drum solo. Like, they get in there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's just some Wasteland travelers who there's a sizable semicircle of people that are sort of coming to see what the commotion is. And then you guys arrive.
I think Gildan would have made a really good Valor Bard.
Yeah.
I feel like.
I like to do these things with the negative modifier in charisma, so if I ever have to roll, I get my just desserts. So
I feel like you could still be the Valor Bard and have negative in charisma.
Yeah.
To kind of make it funnier.
Agreed.
Sorry.
No. Yeah. I think. Touche.
Yeah.
I'm not sorry about that monument.
Yeah, that's canon.
Yeah, it is.
That is canon.
12 feet tall.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
The goblin baby.
There's even a group of pilgrims going in there right now to check it out.
Oh my gosh, they have to rub they try to climb up to rub the baby goblin's head for luck.
Oh, since I'm there now, I'm like, let's you have to make a donation to the statue, keep the upkeep.
Oh.
If you want to but the luck does bestow on you.
Oh, and they put chits in the bowl.
And this is a statue of Baloo?
This is a statue of Baloo holding a goblin baby, a heroically nude statue of Baloo, as I understand it.
Yes.
12 feet
As As soon as the puppets lay eyes on it, they go right into the hymn of Baloo. It goes, I'm like,
Oh my God.
I just died in your arms tonight. Must have been something you said. And that's like Hoggle singing it. Yeah, that's Baloo's hymn. I wrote it.
I just like
You wrote it.
I
Nice.
give them Baloo's blessing
Yeah.
and
And send them on their way. They're all just
accept their
they
tribute.
look like, you know, there's all sorts of desperate people who wander the wastelands looking for various divine aid and the like.
I'll even
like
give one of them who gives like the most bardic inspirations from 10 minutes. He feels like really
Oh yeah, it just man, that was great, guys. And you see them making their way down the hills to the riverbanks and are boarding a barge.
Oh, yeah.
Baloo would hate this.
Yeah, he would. He's like, this is organized religion. This is not going to help anybody.
Mer didn't set it up. She just took advantage of it.
I gotta-
It's organized religion being what it is.
How about denizens with Gildan? Yeah.
Organizations.
Mhm.
Yeah, they're like in the way back, just like the procession, whatever fanfare, and you know, they're just wrapped up in their cloak and with their goggles on and their mask.
I'm
assuming
asking, yeah. I asked Ninizen, did they know Baloo?
During the fighting, I saw him, but unlike some of the others, I did not get involved with him. So, no.
He was one of the greatest bugbears in individuals that have ever lived. Noble and heroic to the last.
I believe you.
Do you know where he's buried?
No.
It's a secret.
Yeah, because you didn't let me go with you. So
Your mother's would have killed me. I did it for my own protection. I felt bad to this day, Anna, as a human being, outside of game, that Ellie didn't go to Baloo's funeral, but Gilman would have gotten killed by
One
your
day Ellie's gonna have to go.
On
Yeah.
the one hand,
We'll take her
like,
there.
on the one hand, I absolutely agree that Icky would never have let Ellie go by herself with Gildan. And on the other hand, I'm kind of mad that she didn't get to go. So really, I blame Gildan.
It's Gildan's fault. And to this day, he feels bad about it too, probably worse than I do.
Aw, that's really
But-
sweet.
That's something he carries with him.
Aw.
oh yeah, and Ellie's probably gonna make sure he never forgets.
Like a true teenager.
Yep.
I liked you better when you were sickly, he would say.
Does he say that?
He hasn't seen you yet.
Oh.
Yes, I want to
Really?
see
Oh.
Ellie and Gildan get in an arm wrestling competition.
She'll lose.
He's a lot more stronger now.
Strong.
You don't want
Strong.
Most of the crowds have left. The pilgrims have gone to the barge. It looks like they're probably headed to, Trade Town most likely, or at least somewhere within the Fellowship territory. And you guys find yourselves at the dugout, mostly alone. There's always someone puttering around, but it's mostly just the five of you now. You press onwards, or if you're traveling in the skiff, you could make it there probably by the end of the day.
Have I run into Murr yet?
It's entirely. I guess it's really up to Murr if you've run into her yet or not.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah. Does Murr make herself scarce, or?
She'd be hanging out with Icky and Ellie.
Okay.
Until because I know Icky probably wants to move, but she's got to go to Trade Town first. So she's basically gonna be like, "You guys want to come to Trade Town for a day or two, or should I do that by myself?"
No, we should go to the trade town. Icky will say, Mur has the nice sheets.
Business expenses. You can just write it off.
So, Murr's with them and her skiff is alone, eh?
It's definitely within eye shot. Definitely, like, he didn't let that thing out of his sight, especially if she knows Gildan is coming.
I imagine that the monument is like right in Baloo's front yard. So if you could see the monument, you could see the three of them hanging out on the front porch.
But you got to keep it away. I think it was described back at the end.
It's like it's in the. I thought it was in the shrine to Baloo.
Wherever the servitors.
There can be as many of them as you want, really.
Can there?
Oh no!
Y'all's,
1 second.
Y'all's lair.
I'm going
It's
to.
y'all's fake shrine.
I'm gonna roll a D8.
Okay.
There are 7 shrines to
There
Baloo,
are 7.
I'm so glad.
but one large 12-foot monument.
The 7 shrines.
Mhm.
7 shrines of Baloo.
You've even seen like some members of the
I love
fellowship
this so
come
much.
out here and pay homage
Oh.
as well. So you have seen that.
Love
Most
it.
people go out here from Trade Town.
All right.
It's a shrine dedicated to each of his like
His
animal
aspects.
shapes.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah.
His aspects,
The many aspects of Baloo.
This is the aspect of
his avatars as he came to Earth.
How big is this religion gonna get? This is the worst.
As big as we want.
Or the best.
Oh.
depends on how much we can monetize it.
You let it out of our
Asking for Baloo to come back as a ghost.
you
Yeah.
let it out of Baloo's hands. You chose a shiny new kid.
Right.
Yeah, Baloo is still wandering. He might have to show up.
He's our commodity now.
No.
Wait,
Uh,
I copyrighted it. Don't worry.
Mer's skiff seems to be in order.
What I
actually, if
appreciate-
Corthor's not doing anything else, he hangs out at the skiff. He's gotten used to just like he hangs out there. You know, he knows what he's there for.
In his car seat.
He's
He knows he was procured.
yeah.
Mom will be back soon. It's fine.
The impression that Mer gets is that he seems okay with this because you're literally the daughter of a person he sees as a divine messenger. So once he found out that you're like, is that your mom? Oh, well,
Must be destiny.
must be destiny then.
Oh, jeez.
It's divine purpose and being brought back, sure. And he's like really warmed up to Mer, despite the fact that he's impossible to charm. Like he's really warmed up to Mer.
Icky hates that too.
Yeah. Jim, like Paladin is the perfect counterpoint to Mer.
Oh, sure.
I feel like
His devotion is not towards the chivalric ideals of lawful and good, but towards the goddess of luck and lust. So, there you
Luck and lust. I'm
Luck-
sorry.
that's
Did
her.
I miss that?
go. Yeah, you must have missed that.
Previously.
That's his goddess he
It's
worships.
going in there now.
My succubus mom was one of the
Yeah,
goddess's
she had
handmaids.
succubus handmaidens, yeah. So anyway, that's what he's hanging out at the skiff, making sure it's safe. But
Equal opportunity employer.
Mhm.
I don't know.
I am.
sweet. If you guys are ready to roll, you guys can write it. You guys can
Yeah.
roll.
Are we ready to roll? As soon as I see Mer. Mer, I need you to take me to the city of ghouls. Just like that.
Just look at you. To the why?
Because Tangrath needs to talk with me. He is a demon.
Demons are they are the worst. The worst.
Yes, they are. Even worse than me, he says with hope.
I haven't decided.
Do you remember
Sure.
Mimrath?
Memnon?
Memnon.
Yes, Memnon-Wrath. Yes.
Memnon
He's
Wrath.
living with some of my extended family. I
He
believe.
is there. He summoned me. He came to me in a dream. This is very important.
Well, before we can go anywhere else,
Sits
We
as
have to
far
go
back
to-
in his chair.
we have to go to Trade Town, and I have to talk to the Fellowship.
Porque. I'm speaking in Goblin there. Only Ellie can understand me.
But you don't know that.
No pork. Ellie's not porky. She's healthy now.
Getting a little chubby, he says judgingly.
She looks at you,
Good. She wears
and
the
then
weight well.
she's gonna try to intimidate you with just her look. And hold on while I look for my dice.
Where
You
they
do
cannot be
know
intimidated.
I am a member of the Fellowship Guild. I am a high-ranking officer in there. I do work with them for them. I have to attend meetings sometimes.
And I'm a prophet of the ways. Sure.
That's a 17 intimidation when you call her that. She just like whoosh, and like pierces your soul with her eyeballs.
Picking up on that so well.
Soul.
We've done our mom job. Hit it.
Well, how do we know if I'm intimidated or not?
I don't know.
What's
I
the
was
code,
the.
I know, yeah.
Intimidating.
What's the call, Jim?
But I rolled it.
Well, I rolled a nat 20. So my
Oh my God.
yeah, I could it was
Yeah,
was a nat 20.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
as you start flexing, Gildan starts really playing it up, almost like Mad Mardigan from Willow. Ooh,
Yes.
oh no, the sick girl's flexing at me. I'm so scared.
I love Willow so much.
So,
Just rolls her eyes and like.
if we
totally
must go to
ignores
Trade
you.
Town, can I come along? And if you could, please take me to the City of Ghouls. It's very important.
I will consider it.
As you know, I will tell you the truth in all things and tell you of my secret plot to find the monolith.
Where's Baloo's body buried?
It's a secret. And I can
maybe-
show you.
Okay.
Do I have any way
Hmm.
to show Ellie the Baloo's final resting place where his body does not decay?
A treasure
through
map.
vision? Well, I'm trying to think if I can give her a vision. So I have lots of different things that I can do.
Yeah.
But I almost think, the way I see this in the fiction is, range touch, show her. I mean, I can scry. I want to open your mind so you can see the spot where he is.
So there's several ways to do that. You guys do have a crystal ball, right?
Hmm?
And then
Sure.
you can
Mom
also
ball.
scry as well. The scry spell is, all the crystal ball does. Just seem I can use it. You don't know dream, do you? Does Gildan know dream?
I don't know Dream, but I'd like her to be waking.
It's like, okay. And then,
I mean, even an illusion spell, right? It's
even an
something I
illusion
know
spell
I
could
can
do it. Yeah.
Show.
Yeah. Because dream was how Anders showed Ellie the way to where they were to the portal or
Mhm.
lift.
I wonder if I can Dream.
So those are the ways that I can think of off the top of my head that you could do. You could show her.
Let's see.
Unless I don't think does the hollow spell like somehow make a location immune to scrying? I think that's just like private
I
save.
didn't choose to make it immune to
Okay.
scrying. With that said, I don't have the dream spell, and I'm not gonna shape a dream. But I think what I could do is, I could view this as producing a miracle of some sort.
You could do it
use
through a ritual.
divinations.
Like we could
yeah.
just sort of like abstract it out to it just takes time then.
Yeah, because I'm not looking to do this to. I know the way. I just want her to see Baloo's resting spot, see how nicely we made it, and I will give her one of the 3 maps to Baloo's body. This one's on Haggle. Keep her safe. She throws
Oh,
her little arms
no.
around your neck.
Oh.
Hi,
No.
my name's Haggle.
Oh my goodness, you're so strong, she says, kneading her fingers into your neck.
I just like slowly take it off. Just look at it like in horror. What is this?
That's what they say every time I see anything.
They're terrible. He's had them.
I'm your best friend.
Is this food?
You could try to eat her, but you'd lose your map to Baloo. Just kidding. If you kill her, she turns into a worthless puppet, but the map would still be on her. Don't tell her that!
It only lasts 8 hours, right? Like tiny servant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I
I put it in my pocket, like in my bag. Just
Ooh,
stay
candy. Nom, 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 nom.
So are you doing all of this on the skiff as y'all travel to Trade Town?
Yeah, I'm just driving to Trade Town.
Yeah, just like that blank look on Mer's face, just buzzing in her ears.
The Gildan family singers in the background.
A bumper
Do
sticker.
I
on
still
the back
have
of the
silence?
Goodbye, my Coney Island.
Yeah. Oh. You guys arrive at Trade Town close to sundown, and pass a rather large wagon, like a really kind of tall and boxy looking wagon as you arrive in, and it's getting ready to be one of the many trade days in Trade Town. So the population has swollen to 2 or 3 times its normal size as Wastelanders and people from even further afield arrive to hawk their wares. But your arrival into town is heralded by the locals who know you, particularly Icky and Ellie. As you pass through the streets, there are a lot of people who are, give you a what's up or a hey, or it's good to see you, that kind of thing. The locals remember who liberated their town, certainly. And you even spot, as you're traveling through the streets, 2 or 3 servitors who have made Trade Town their home and live here. But otherwise, you're able to make it right to Mer's townhome.
Yep. Park the skiff. Secure it. Ritually cast detect magic and do the sweep of my house.
Everything seems
as always.
Right. Paranoia sets in. The last time you guys were here was when Ellie was almost assassinated.
I have a feeling she just does that every time she goes back home. All right, sweep the place. We're good.
I check every closet and every little anywhere that anybody could be hiding, even the drawers, even if it doesn't seem like they'd be in there. But Ellie would just be so fixated on that.
Go through, make a sweep through the house. Just check over. Yeah. So Ellie's occupied with that for a while because Mer has kind of a large house.
Yeah.
And so Mer and Ellie secure the townhome. How about everybody else? Most places open now are like the taverns and ale houses and the like that are around here. Getting close to sundown.
Denison's going to see if they can't find one of their contacts here. We talked about it, Jim. I think there's
3 people here that form like the nucleus of the Arcane Society: Enoch, Barnabas, and Glossia. They sort of form the 3 of them. They've added a 4th, a servitor. I can't remember if we named him or them. I'll have to look back through my notes, but those would be the people you know. They're the ones that pointed you in your eastward when you were looking for Gildan.
Yeah, I think they would want to, if anything, just see if there's any news and any other servitor news. Okay.
So you hit up them as you arrive in town. All right. How about Icky?
Always while I am typing. Icky's gonna hang out at Mer's townhouse for a little while, but she is going to kind of keep an eye on just see what fellowship people are making the rounds mostly. So she'll spend a lot of her time outside, sitting on the little stoop, carving up little bones and stuff to sell in town. She hasn't brought any ears this time. Honestly, the heat makes it really hard to keep them and preserve them like she would like to. So she's just gonna surreptitiously observe the rounds.
Okay. There seems to be the same familiar faces of the wardens and the like. Although there's a new face in town. There's a goblin woman who you see walking around, and people seem to defer to her. But that's really the only other person. You see Ishtar, Yax, the half ogre who travels with her. You see him. You hear him laughing before you see him. But
What about the two in particular, lizard folk archer?
you don't see Ani anywhere. Ori, Ori, was her name.
Ori. No. Okay, I don't see Ori, and that young one that made eyes at Ellie last spring.
Ooh. Oh yeah. Was a hobgoblin, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'd have to flip back there. Yeah.
Wait, what kind of eyes?
He was there. He was like smitten. With,
oh, that's right.
Yeah.
The night that I almost died.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
If Icky sees him on the streets, she's gonna immediately like zoom those kaiju eyes at him. Be like,
actually, if you do, then he immediately like comes over to Icky. I'm looking up a name real quick. Bash.
Of course
Bash.
It is.
Bash. I'll make a note of that there. And Bash comes on. He comes on over. He's like, "Oh, hey, you're Icky's friend, or Ellie's friend, Icky, right?"
I'm her mother.
Oh, man, humors are weird. Is she all right? Like, I hadn't seen you guys in forever.
She is fine.
Oh, that's good to know. That's good to know. Is she here? And he's like looking around.
Icky like narrows her eyes.
Mm-hmm.
No.
All right. Well, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say anything.
Don't you have work?
He's like trying to walk away and like looking and very nervous about leaving, but also
worse and worse.
trying
like,
to catch
please
in a
turn
window.
your back to me.
No, he doesn't. He keeps Icky in his eye line until he rounds a corner.
Yeah.
But yeah, Bash heads back to the dock where his beat is. So Icky is sort of keeping an eye on things. You see some familiar faces, others you don't. And then how about for Gildan as Trade Town, night descends on Trade Town?
I don't think Gildan's ever spent much time in Trade Town at night. I feel very exposed. Well, if there's no evening orc wrestling matches,
So that's that you know of.
That I know of.
There are plenty of them somewhere.
I'm gonna get to the bottom of these. I'm gonna use legend lore to no.
Yeah, you
Spam that button.
Gildan's single now. He can get to the bottom of all the wrestling matches.
Yeah, you could if you're looking for some underground fight club action. And, what's a good? You could do like investigate with charisma. Could be a good one.
Let's try that.
Gather info.
Yeah, I actually want to get to the heart of the den of sin with it in Trade Town. So I had another nat 20.
House?
Oh,
Well, apart from
very
Mers.
well be. Mers like, let's so yeah. So with my negative charisma modifier, but my positive investigation, let's see how that one turned out.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the Den of Sin. Oh, like a bar. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
Where is Gildan?
Den of Sil. Sin.
Yeah.
LLD.
So, okay, so it's a nat 20 on the die, followed by -1, so it's charisma.
Sure.
So
Okay.
wait, whoa, what?
What's
That's my saving throw. I was like, why do I have a positive charisma modifier?
Oh.
No, I don't. All right, so yeah, a 19.
All right. Yeah, you find it after a while of wandering and looking around. I mean, it doesn't take too long wandering the dusty streets of the Orc Quarter to find, or rather hear the sounds of a brawl or a fight of some kind, and making your way through through different warehouses and alleys and things like that. You come to a back alley brawl type situation. Wrestling, fighting, drinking, all that kind of stuff. They're just living it up. They seem to be having a great time.
All right. Hey,
It's like
hey.
a bike club, basically.
Yeah.
Table.
So I'm gonna kind of strap my stuff, come up, and ask if any of them thinks they can pin me.
Oh.
I mean, like,
Wink.
yeah.
How much oil are they wearing?
I mean, some of them quite a bit. There's they're orcs, right? Like, so orcs, and they have a very fatalistic attitude about the world.
Okay.
They kick their god out. There's no afterlife. But as long as they're here, they have a life and they need to live it to the fullest. And so orcs are passionate and
yes, and that means oil when wrestling.
And so when they wrestle, they do it all out. So they've got it, like Mongolian wrestling, where they got like the armbands, and then
Not only do I know Mongolian wrestling,
but it's like
down for this. I'm here for this.
Mm-hmm. This is the content you're here for.
Your little Honda head roll. No,
right. There's some of that. There's things like that going on, as well as just like bare knuckle brawls.
Yeah, I don't want to hurt anyone though. They look soft. Okay. I say out loud. So, yeah, Gildan says he's willing to seize life with all of them, and surely, if one can pin him, I will perform a miracle.
Gildan just wants somebody to embrace him. He just wants to feel someone's arms around him.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, sure. Yeah. I mean, all you're doing is looking to wrestle. Yeah, you just. I mean, you want to put any money on it, or make it interesting?
Well.
And Gildan, you'll be paying him.
What's greater than money in this? And I asked him, "What do you value more than money?"
Oh well, man, that's a lot I value more than money. Good. I mean, a good time is, valuable in and of itself, right? So.
This is gonna be a long night for Gildan.
Right? Yeah, I mean,
it is.
They
Zing! I'm gonna mute myself. I'm sorry, guys.
I think you need to keep going.
No, it's wonderful.
That's how I sanity check this.
Yeah. They seem like they are like willing. It's like, yeah, you want to wrestle? Sure. Like,
I'm in. So my initial roll to wrestle these guys is 28.
Oh, nice.
Oh, I forgot. I have advantage as well. The second roll is nowhere near as good.
Where did you get advantage from?
I have the grappler feet.
Oh, you have the grappler. Okay.
And if it gets sticky, Jim, I have freedom of movement. Can't be restrained.
That's what the oil is for.
Yeah. I just like I think first off, I think the oil gives everyone disadvantage to give it even playing field.
28 then.
28. And then let's see where it goes from here. You just have to rely hopefully on no. I have my own version of this, Grant. 20, doesn't it? You can't really tell, do you? Can you?
But it's a
this
check.
Is a weird.
So what's he got? What's he got?
That makes mine a what's an orc's? I'm gonna call it 24. Yeah, it's just an orc. It's a good match. It's a superb match.
Yeah,
right.
I guys this
top form, and everyone's feeling it.
We hit the mud. It's hell on wheels. We're busting out moves. We're creating on the spot.
You guys are like virtuosos of impromptu mud and oil wrestling, but in the end, you are able to gain an advantage and win the match.
Yeah, I was gonna move to pin as well, which is like the ultimate embarrassment. So if we do, we can end it there, or to move to pin. I got a 20 to pin, so it's just kind of like. I want to make sure I put his shoulders on the down. Mean Gene died yesterday, so we need a 1, 2, 3 interview. Goodness gracious, Gildan Goblin, that was phenomenal.
That was phenomenal. I am defying all odds and
No,
getting my
don't.
second one of the evening as well. This is they wake the neighborhood with the shouts and roaring from this match. You guys in like Icky is out in the stoop of Mur's house. The Orc quarters just across the central courtyard where the merchants are putting up the last of the pavilions for tomorrow, and you hear a bunch of shouting and yelling coming from somewhere.
It's got to be Gildan.
Icky doesn't know why, but she is drawn to blame Gildan. She's just like, this is Gildan's fault. I know.
Yeah, it's about to get a lot worse when I check for oil next time and I take my thumb and jam it where it doesn't belong. Just
I'm gonna mute myself, but I also want to know if I can mute Grant.
No,
I don't know. Grant
censor me.
All that. It's a phenomenal wrestling match, but in the end, Gildan comes out on top. And a great time is had. Is had by all. As the night wears on, you guys find yourselves at your various locations, but we'll see what Ninizen's up to, and then get to the next day. So Enoch and the rest are at basically Barnabas's house, which is where they tend to always. It's that one that sort of is in the lowest level, so you have to walk down a flight of steps. It's a sunken abode.
Yeah, they actually helped him big time when he came out of the desert. He had his magic items, basically. He had them appraised by them and figured out some cool stuff. So he kind of considers them allies.
Mm-hmm.
But he kind of wants to know, or they kind of want to know, the dirt on Gildan.
Dirt.
It's mud
dirt right now, mud and oil right now.
What do you ask?
Mud, oil, and orc.
Yeah. Right now.
Do they have a way of like knowing what Gildan's been up to?
I mean, they know Gildan by reputation. Barnabas knows Gildan. Actually, Barnabas has a lot of good things to say about him. Gildan's like, Gildan's he's a difficult to be around, but he does what's right when it counts. But he's a malcontent and a instigator. He likes stirring the pot. It's never clear where he stands, and so I think he just pisses people off.
I just can't tell whether to trust him or not.
I don't know about trusting him. You can trust that he will. You can trust that he will always behave in an unpredictable way. That's about it. But trust him with your life? I wouldn't.
Okay.
Not saving nobody no more.
Yeah. Actually, honestly, Jim, I forgot why I was going to have Denizen go to these guys.
That's all right.
So if I remember, I'll retroactively bring it up, but I don't.
You can always do a flashback.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's at that as the night descends over Trade Town, that there is a knock on Mur's door, and one Asimar Eldritch Knight, Mollymock, no relation, presents himself at Mur's threshold.
The way you worded that, Jim. Yeah, Mur's still home because she's not going to the fellowship till tomorrow because they don't like the nightlife, so they close early. It's like it's like government business hours. Like, oh, they shut down at 4. Who closes at 4 p.m.? So, she will definitely answer the door. Like, oh, hello.
Okay.
Please come in.
Oh, thanks. Just get into town yourself? And he makes with the small talk.
Yeah, just small talk. Oh, yes. And she's just basically I'm assuming Ellie and Icky are still in the house.
I guess, yeah.
I don't know if they are or not.
I think I thought Icky was looking forward to the sheets.
She was.
I was.
Don't worry, there's lots of sheets.
Vicky definitely doesn't fit on any of the beds though, so she just makes like a nest on the ground.
Yeah. So Mer will just be like, I'm going to be busy for a little bit. So if you need anything, just, to Icky and Ellie.
She's like already snoring.
All
like
right.
sleeps on the balcony so she can sleep under the sky, and she's just like one arm's like draped over the side of the balcony.
Well, that's
How late is it?
It's not like super late. It's like
Doesn't matter.
10.
Okay.
Yeah.
Dead
So
to the
Ellie,
world.
Ellie knows what she's gonna do, and she's obviously gonna feel very uncomfortable. So she's just gonna go outside.
okay.
Just like let them.
Be very careful.
Yeah. All right. Ellie goes outside.
I have multiple bedrooms. I'll just take him to the one furthest away from Icky.
Yeah.
And sleep.
Sleep
Throw that
through
sock
it.
on the door.
Yeah. But he probably doesn't want to like do anything with like a giant sleeping kaiju on the balcony. She probably sleeps with her eyes open too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
With just like the protective like sleeve of, like the
Uh-huh.
gland over it. Just like
Yeah. Not good for the business. No joke.
perfect.
Mhm,
Just-
mhm.
Take him into the bedroom and
Take him in the bedroom then.
ask what he's been up to. Why is he not with was it Grix?
Rick's, yeah. Rick's Rick's is dead.
Really?
Yeah, Stanker and Ego turned on him. Not a few weeks ago, I guess.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they there's something about spending out too much time east, and they wanted to look for some demon in some city. Turns out Ego has a plan to I don't know. I thought it was stupid, so I came back here. Figured I would pass through.
Of course. First, because she's just got such high levels of paranoia. Insight check.
Mhm.
Oh, it's classic me insight. It's an 8.
He seems truthful.
Okay, yeah. She'll keep that in mind to tell Icky in the morning because Icky's asleep, and she doesn't want to wake us. Let sleeping Icky lie unless it's an emergency.
Right.
So yeah, she'll be like, "Oh, that's very intriguing. Sounds dangerous. Like not like the fun kind of dangerous."
No, it's a big mess. A bunch of them. Well, we ran into those eaters of the dead out east, and
Yes, we did as well.
I think it just pissed Stanker off. He thought it was a stupid trap to run into, and we almost lost Slorp and Geralt. So
Yes, we did. Just saved it.
yeah, so it was a big mess. I think most of the old crew have, I don't know, made their way out to some Medusa army or something. But
It
Stanker and Ego
happens.
took the rest of them up north.
That's not just the nature of crews. They split from time to time. Well,
It's a big crew, too big, I think.
yes, keeping it small and more personal is
Mhm.
definitely the way to go.
Definitely.
Mm-hmm.
And by this point, he's finished undressing and taking.
Yeah.
his
Oh yeah.
armor off,
Same.
and-
It's just like the talking is just.
Mhm.
Mhm.
And it just like stops, and it's just, and then it's morning.
Mhm.
I know that I understand. Sorry, TK. I understand. I know what you're gonna say. You can write your own fanfic about it.
No, I am 100% in I approve of veils during like sexually explicit content. It's the beating around the bush part.
Temptation.
that I like.
He goes down to the fridge the next morning. He's in his boxers getting himself a glass.
Yeah, he's
of
totally
OJ.
just hanging out, just in the morning with that guy. So
Want a glimpse behind the veil? Patreon.com/
yeah, right.
Sorry.
Right.
We cannot Twitch will not let us advertise any content like
Fan art produced by Grant Ellis and Macaroni
Right.
Noodles.
Now,
Yeah.
is
And
Mur,
puff
does
paint.
Mur think he can use magic at all, or is he just more martially inclined?
Oh no, he's totally a both guy. He's like,
Nice.
I mean, if he had a class, if I was going to roll him up, he'd be like Eldritch Knight or something like that.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
He knows a little bit. He's a bit of both. Yeah.
And he's probably not like woohoo fellowship. So
Oh no, he's just he's just passing through.
yeah, she'll let him know maybe this cool since he's between jobs right now.
Oh, you got some work?
Eventually, I'm always in need of trustworthy people.
Well, whatever you need, I'm your man.
Oh, I know.
Mm-hmm. And like, otherwise he's just like having coffee.
Yeah.
Just like maybe one of like Mur's skirts or something. Just
Mm-hmm.
Ellie wakes up and into like the kitchen area.
Mhm.
Him just wearing a skirt. You said.
yeah, something like that.
Some silk skirts.
It's like
Yeah, just like,
dressed in one of her sheer kimono.
Yes.
something like that. Yeah, just for the first thing you found. Yeah.
Morning.
Morning.
She goes to the land between two rivers, hypothetically speaking, fridge.
Yeah,
The
so
icebox.
sure. Mur keeps food somewhere.
Where's a glass of chocolate milk equivalent? Just like keeping
Wait,
an eye on him.
When was the last time we were in this house?
Well, like stabbed.
Yeah, last time Ellie got stabbed.
Just like plops
Like
into
4
her
months
cup.
ago.
Yeah, it's a while back. So he's he's like, well, I don't want to overstay my welcome, but listen, if you got anything for me, I'll
Certainly.
be around for a couple of days, but
Oh.
thinking of heading south after this.
So,
Don't drink this.
What's wrong with it?
Right.
Try it.
It's like a ball of slime in a cup.
Yeah, it's like spoiled chocolate milk.
Oh.
I told you not to try it.
And he's fine. He's like, all right.
Sleep with my mom, will
He
you?
goes right. He goes back into the room to get dressed. Where does Morning find Nenizen and Gildan?
question.
Right.
Yeah, that is a very good question. I don't know if Nenizen would feel like, unless they were explicitly what's the word, invited.
I mean, you would have Enoch and Barnabas. If you needed a place to rest, they would let you crash on their couch for a few days, basically. But there are hostels and what passes for inns and things like that in Trade Town. There's places that do that. They are all filled up because it is like everybody's in town.
Well, yeah. Then they would have slept there, but left early.
Okay.
And and then would head to Murr's to see if anyone was up.
Gotcha. And then for Gildan.
Up.
Oh. In the arms of many orcs.
I
Yeah.
knew it.
Mhm.
It just kind
You were
of.
the only one that had some fun last night, Mur.
Okay.
Yeah.
Most of the time it's business, so it's nice to have a little pleasure.
Well,
Uh-huh.
let's just say I think Mur and Gildan should roll an unmodified die roll and see who had more fun.
Oh,
Oh.
Behind the veil, so we'll message each other in private.
okay. You guys,
Sorry! Not
Should
private!
have natural 20.
good grief.
For the third time tonight. Why couldn't I have done that during the wrestling match?
You're
Why
lucky
couldn't
to
you have
know.
done this when we were fighting Corsica?
19.
Hey, listen.
Yeah.
It's not your fault, Mur. There were more hands.
True.
We're a little
She's just
more
nice.
practiced.
She's just happy to not be doing all the work this time. So
Right.
she's like, yeah, that's it.
As there's a that wagon that y'all saw coming in the night before, it looks like it's parked itself in the central courtyard and it's starting to set up. There's a small stage, like a little pavilion that comes out. There's a lot of people around it sort of busying themselves.
Interesting.
but the market is beginning to liven up as daybreak. Everybody's ready to start bartering and trading.
Once Molly Mock, no relation, leaves Mur and they're still having breakfast. Mur will be like, Icky, I have a bit of news for you.
Is he still there?
No, he'd be gone.
Okay, good.
I should wait till he left.
Yeah, that's for the best.
Is Detroit like there? Did you guys let Axe Dreamer stay there?
I think Bird let Extremer stay there.
Yeah.
He had to stay in Icky's room.
You got like when you woke up, like Molly Mock and McCoy, they were just like trading, just like I like to, when I fight, it's like and they're just they like each other and are friends.
Gross.
Yeah.
Ugh, I hate happiness.
Just throwing it up.
Yeah, Icky's just like has her own rations that she's been bringing, which is like jars of fermented meats, and so she's just sitting at the table eating that.
Nice.
I have, I'm not sure if this news is fortunate or unfortunate, but it would appear to be that Rix is dead. Apparently, Stanker and what's the other one? I can't read my own handwriting. I can read Stanker. Ego. That's not what it is.
Honestly, it would probably be funnier if you didn't know the other names. So like, you would just be like, "I will have to kill all of them. They all may have done it."
Stanker and the Ego. Killed them too much time eastward, and the group has split in many different directions. Some of them joining Medusa, and then the others staying with Stanker as the new leader, and they are headed towards a city with some type of demon. Sound familiar?
And as Icky is eating and like thinking on this, the main thing that she's thinking about is that she asked Rix to go east, and now he is dead. And at the beginning, it was sort of a win-win for her, since he did eat her children. But on the other hand, she also acknowledges that this is the last like blood family that she had that has now been murdered. And so she just kind of like, she looks at her food and she looks at Mur and okay.
But I just felt like you should know. So.
Okay.
All right. Do you need anything?
More meat?
I can arrange that.
I'm gonna go get more of this stuff. And she like points the chocolate milk and walks out.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, I guess I should get my business started at the fellowship.
So you head to where they're okay. The fellowship has moved a lot of its. They had that garden that they still maintain, and it has now been sort of turned over to Trade Town as like a public park almost. And almost all of the fellowship business has moved across the other side of the river to where the pyramid, which has now been overgrown with all sorts of vegetation, so you really can't see. You can see the entrance to the pyramid, but other than that, there's not much else. And Trade Town has kind of expanded in that direction as well. That's where they are, and where they.
Yeah, I get all presentable and all nice, and put on like some outfit that has like floral embroidery and look more fellowship happy.
Sure. All the big wigs are there. It seems. Not all of them, but like all the ones who are sort of like big in Trade Town. And do you arrive with is anyone going with you? Is it just going by yourself, or
she'll offer for Icky and Ellie to go with if she wants. She's not taking Gildan.
Okay.
If Icky goes, okay, then yeah, Ellie will go.
We have to get more meat and more chocolate milk.
Yeah.
I guess chocolate milk can wait.
We can get it on the way.
Yeah.
I'll have it delivered to the house.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
We'll go by the market anyway.
But otherwise, the members of the fellowship are are across the river and have set themselves up in basically what's like a grove of some kind, a ring of trees that's been grown. They're still really sort of young and still growing. But you see that Helen's there. You see that Josiah, who is like the head warden in Trade Town, as well as Ishtar and some of the others, mostly wardens, but also some of the lawgivers of the fellowship are present.
Pretty big meeting then.
Yeah, it's actually sort of a big meeting that they've got, and it looks like this been ongoing. Because as you arrive, you get the impression that the meeting has been already started, even though you sort of arrived pretty early in the morning.
Okay.
How do you make your entrance?
Oh, grandly. Like, not quite Aragorn with the double doors, but close. Just waft in like a breeze of fresh air, perfumed and done up all fancy, just drift in gracefully and elegantly.
Excellent. Thank you for joining us, Mur. Josiah is speaking at the moment. Please, we are discussing recent developments to the north, as well as an assignment that we have for you.
Interesting. I've heard rumors of what is happening to the north.
Any information that you have would be invaluable. In fact, we were hoping to use your particular skills as an investigator and the like to see if you could find out more about what's going on. We're quite concerned by this devil's army.
Interesting. Yes, my travels recently have not taken me too close, but I will relay what I know, what I've heard.
Yeah.
About
most of it. They've heard similar rumors, but you filled in some blanks for them and other details. Ishtar is
yeah. I'm definitely paying attention to her face to see if she recognizes.
She recognizes Jando's rock. She knows who they are and is able to explain that it's a fairly powerful
territory up there.
Yeah. That's the area that she sort of roamed around in. But she's mostly just involved in terms of someone clarifying certain details about who is and isn't up there. After this sort of debriefing, Josiah introduces this goblin woman who's with him. This is Kiervir. She will be replacing you at your post here in Trade Town, Mur, while you're on your new assignment. We hope that this is acceptable to you, but you truly are needed elsewhere. I'd like Mur to make me an insight check.
Oh, yeah.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Actually, go ahead and make me 2, because I'm looking for 2 specific things.
Okay.
Or just, that's
okay.
Yeah.
The first one is a 17.
Thank
God for Bardic half inspiration. Oh, and that one is a 21.
So you see Helen has been paying particularly close attention to you during this and seemed very apprehensive and sort of nervous. And that's from her. The rest of the room, including Josiah, you don't get the impression that there's anything malicious here. You get the sense that there's something going on, like a maneuvering behind the scenes. You're not familiar very much with Kiervir, who she is.
Because I was last here about 45 days ago, very briefly, but lots happened in that time.
A lot has happened. We'd like for you to stay out of any danger if possible. We're simply looking for answers.
Of course.
And hope that this is, I hope that the relation between the portal and whatever threat there is that this is the extent of it.
Yes, it would be very good to have this information. I'm not terribly familiar with the lands to the north, however. I have not been traveling much up that way. Perhaps I could speak with someone who has had more experience up there, so I am more aware of some of the dangers and potential threats out there.
And that seems very wise. Yes. Make use of whatever resources we have. And Ishtar is particularly familiar with that region, as is some of her companions.
Good to know. I shall have to pick their brains before I leave.
Excellent. Do be careful, Mer. Some of the reports, this is bigger than the usual dust-up between two warlords.
So it would seem. Anything else going on since I was last here? A moon or so ago.
Nothing too noteworthy. Things have been
Inside check that.
quiet.
17 again.
Yeah, they're clearly hiding the fact that people have been trying to break into the pyramid from Mer. Yeah, it's never that quiet for that long.
Okay, yeah.
You know. He's not a particularly good liar either.
Gotcha. Oh, well, that's good. Then I shouldn't have to procure any other aid for our dear Kjorvir, who will be, in my stead while I am gone.
And she seems, stern and resolute. She's like a typical warden, right? Like just a by the book cop kind of.
How old does she look? She's an older goblin. Goblins don't live very long, so.
Not particularly. She looks like maybe her late 30s in terms of it's like middle-aged goblin.
Okay.
You might, if you know her, it's by reputation only.
Okay, gotcha. So she'll just smile and nod through the meeting, and then, once it's done, yo, Helen.
Yeah, Helen actually, she doesn't like make an immediate beeline to her, but there is, she finds you fairly quickly afterwards, and is, Mer, please don't be angry with me. I know that
You're only one person. How could I be angry with you?
I know. I thought that you would be the best person suited to figuring out what's going on up there, and I suggested you is all. I
do know some ins and outs of devils, so you're not wrong there.
Yes, and she really seems like the nervousness and anxiety is more like she didn't want to upset Mer by making and so she seems relieved. She think she's like,
So with more information and perhaps the situation being somewhat handled or resolved, that could also bode well for my position here upon returning as well. So
I should think so.
I can tell that there's been some maneuvering about.
Ishtar is a determined woman, and but I don't think that it's anything. I don't think it's anything to worry about. I just thought it'd be good if you stayed away a while longer. Is all, and we could really use you.
Of course. Just keep an eye on everything that's going on. I'll be sure to pick their brains for information about the north, as I have not traveled there often. Thank you, Helen. We should do lunch before I leave.
She's free. Okay. So otherwise, Mer.
I know it won't be Mount Celestia. We can even pop back over to Mount Celestia for lunch.
Right, sure.
Yeah.
Just right there. So this takes up most of the morning, right? There's a whole big meeting. They're going to be meeting all day. And you can stick around for as much of it as you like.
Definitely introduce myself to Kjorvir. Thank her for, basically political handshaking, schmoozing bullshit.
She makes with the nice, says the right things, that kind of thing.
Yeah. So it's like a dance.
Right. And so for the rest of your mornings, I like an idea. First off, how long are y'all planning on staying in Trade Town? What are some of the things you'd like to do here? Other than these meetings that Mer needed to have, and really that's kind of it. Like, how long you plan to stay, and what do y'all want to accomplish here?
Mer would definitely at least stay one more Am I muted?
Not now.
Okay, good.
Oh, sorry. It was me.
It's all good. Mer would definitely just recommend stocking up on supplies and getting just ready to go for a trip. So staying like one more night and then heading out in the morning. Where they head out, however, is not completely clear. As I gotta go check on this war stuff, but
Both places are to the north.
oh, they're both to the north. She's like, well, if it's one on the way, I wasn't sure which direction it was. So if it's north, she'll be like, Gildan, the Fellowship wants me to do a task. So I don't know if I'll be able to drop you off at that place with that demon.
Gildan's eyes start circling like Kaz from the Jungle Book. Oh, really? You don't know if you would be able to. Meanwhile, all Gildan has been doing in the meanwhile is trying to find out as much as he can about the City of Ghouls. Whatever he can do to figure that out. Exactly what he would need to go there. He's a little concerned. Last time he ran into undead, they killed his friend. So that's what he's preparing for. And he says, no, it's okay. If you can't take me, I will find a mount and travel alone. I understand.
Walks a lonely road.
Yeah, he does. All of the usual sages and the like have set up their shingles in the marketplace. The usual suspects are there: Enoch, Barnabas, some of the others from Mer's cabal. They dub themselves the Arcane Society, very high-minded sort of. Fancy themselves sort of philosophs and all that kind of like. But they've got their little tents and the like set out there, just as like everybody else. Are you guys headed? Icky and Ellie are at the marketplace doing some morning shopping.
We gotta get milk and meat.
Yes, and then Nenizen, you were coming back from where you were staying. Gildan, you were coming back from where you were staying. So, other than finding out more about the City of Ghouls, anything else Gildan wants to do?
I'd like to procure, if possible, a camadillo, which is a creature I invented right now, which is a combination of a camel and an armadillo. It looks ridiculous.
Mer is just basically she's trying to see like how bad Gildan wants to go to the city if it's one of his like fleeting things. So that's basically his conversation.
No,
is like
I'm 100% bent on it. I have to go there. I was visited
like you come back and see
okay. So seeing that like before you went out and buy him out, she'd be like. How long do you need to be at the city?
I don't know, but I don't...
Do you need a ride, or do you need backup?
Well, I need friends, he says. I need friends. This is very important. There is... And Gildan's going to divulge everything he knows about the monolith through every dream and every casting of a 5th level spell he's ever done to Mer, because he has said he will not keep secrets from Mer. He can't. Last time he did, he nearly got Ellie killed. So, yeah. So
he's been standing across the street watching him try and buy a mount. Like full
I'm not tall enough. It's just
like Icky knows the guy that he's buying.
Yeah,
the guy's a total
like,
rip-off art.
Yeah, that thing's gonna die in like 2 days. Can't even eat it when it's done. She's watching. Whenever he's done like speaking with her, she will say to Mer in Infernal, "We should go. It seems important."
All right. Okay, Gildan. We will go to the city.
Oh, thank you. You're very, very kind. And if you're ever interested in meeting a nice orc, there's some great ones in this town.
Oh my god.
I've met quite a few of them before.
Gildan probably smells like work.
Not only do I... For a few days.
Yeah.
I charge an extensive fee. But yes, I think we shall leave in the morning. We will get supplies. If we are going to the City of Ghouls, sounds like there are undead nearby. I'd like to be good set on food for a while. I'm not.
I can fix that for you.
Yes, I'm sure you can. I would like to stock up on my own food for a while.
You don't want guilty berries? Go ahead.
Yeah, basically, get supplies, check in at the Drow embassy.
Oh yes.
I'll let them know her movements because the army's been moving close to the Drow territory.
Oh, if you visit Yaz, she's got all kinds of things to fill her in on.
Oh yes.
Yeah, she's got a lot. Basically, as Yaz is able to understand it, the Drow scouts have been following and sort of shadowing this force for a while, and it seems as though this army of what started out as a core group of devils has been slowly gaining strength as it goes from village to village.
Do they fly under a banner or a flag?
They seem to fly under a banner of they cart around a chained figure who seems to be ever burning.
Okay.
The figure is statuesque and tall. Skin cracked like magma.
Okay.
Burning from in.
Does this sound familiar to Mur at all?
Not particularly.
No? Okay.
I'll have make me an Arcana check as he's explaining.
Arcana check.
Yeah.
Okay.
There is they perform these sort of orgiastic, violent rites every night. Like there's just it's just a bunch of blood and violence and excess that seems
that's great
to happen in front of this figure that's chained but also on fire.
22.
What's that?
That's 22.
22. Talking through it with Yaz, this sounds an awful lot like certain rituals to turn a celestial into a fiend.
Oh. Well, that's interesting.
That's what it sounds like to you.
Okay. That's really interesting.
Yeah.
It's like D&D Christmas. I'm so excited.
I know.
So that's what the army's been up to. According to the scouts who've kept their distance because of the nature of the army, most cities early on would attempt to resist, not be pleasant, but now, villages.
Yeah.
Now it's more like villages see the army arrive
and they flee.
They either flee or join it.
Okay.
Is what happens.
And have they been like on it? Does it look, I'm so excited. Does it look like the army's wandering or they have a specific like destination in mind?
It looks like they were moving north, paralleling the Drow territories.
Okay.
Until they got to this place, Jando's Rock, where they stopped and stayed. That they took the village of Ghost Hill. That's where they're at specifically. But these hobgoblins from Jando's hobgoblins, or the warlord, his rock, they were able to sort of stall them, and that they are now in a kind of stalemate.
Okay. So they haven't seemed to intentionally be like, let's go mess with everybody in the Drow. Interesting.
Yeah, they've specifically avoided the two kind of major powers in the region, the Fellowship lands and then
interesting. That means they have some intel. Okay, very cool. And she'll ask how Memnon's been, because she kind of was like, yeah, we should just go with them, go back without telling the Fellowship. So
Memnon was good and a fascinating individual, but
yes,
he grew restless and left sometime heading northward. I believe he was looking for some demon out in the wastes.
Yes, I've heard something about the demon. Interesting that there is a demon out in the wastes at the same time an infernal army is ravaging about. Very interesting. Thank you. Yes, it has been a pleasure. Is there anything I can relay up to? I'm headed up north myself. Anything I can relay to anyone up there?
There's if you find yourself anywhere near our home, give my regards to our friend. Yeah, she's gives you, it's pleasantry kind of stuff. She seems pretty, not like she doesn't seem to be sweating any of this as much as the Fellowship seems.
Yeah.
To. But then she always kind of has a stoic,
nonchalant. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. So yeah, Mer will also relay this back to Icky.
Okay.
And the group and be like, "This is what I found out from the drow. It would be amazing if everyone could just talk to each other, but that's why they need me."
The drow.
While Icky was in the market, was she able to get her short sword +1 rebound since it needed?
Oh, I mean, you could have had that rebound in the 90 days that you were,
It, let's be honest, Icky would have no idea how to do that.
Then yes, there's someone there who can rebind it.
Perfect.
Yeah.
She will give him a jar of fermented meat in exchange.
Mm.
It's the good shit.
It's the good stuff. Like
It's like 30% liquid.
he breaks out one of those like straw spoons.
Yes.
So you guys are going shopping at the market. Anyone else getting anything while they're there? Chocolate milk for Ellie.
Chocolate milk. Could Mer buy +1 studded leather?
They don't really have a lot of magical
Magic
stuff like
items.
that.
Really finely crafted. If they're not, that's totally fine. I just figured I'd throw it out there. Be like,
Yeah.
looking at my AC, like,
Oh yeah, is it?
Yeah.
Is it
Gildan, what is it? Does Shield of Divinity or whatever? Shield of Faith. He's like, here, have a bonus.
Take a +2.
Take a +2.
I mean, there are very fine armor workers here in Tradetown.
okay. She'll probably just wait to get something drow made later.
Okay, the drow certainly would have
Yeah.
magic
Yeah.
arms armor.
Icky will stock
Family
back
discount.
up on nets.
Okay.
Gildan's trying to scrounge up components for his spells.
Okay.
Hmm.
How about Ninizen?
Still asking about me.
No, I think Ninizen was looking for something in particular, and he didn't hear about it, so he stopped asking. Mysterious. I don't know, not yet. I'm still feeling out his persona.
Is Ninizen by himself?
Mm-hmm.
In the marketplace?
Yeah, and he, he tries to. He can't, or they can't really blend in very well because they're like. They've got this big like orange and blue cloak and and yet still with the red goggles that all the servitors have.
Yes, there's you see a figure approach you, dressed in a simple pilgrim's robe, and at first it seems like it just sort of like wants to be look at something that you're near kind of thing, but you notice that it's lingering for a while near you and looking in your direction. Do anything?
Yeah, I'm going to. What do they appear to be looking at?
You're pretty looking at. Well, it looks like they're looking at some just like satchels or something like that. But he's not doing a very good job of it, and it looked like he's like, oh, this one over here, and like every now and then it'll move kind of closer to you, so it's about an arm's length away.
An arm's length.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I mean, it's a crowded marketplace, right? There's all people kind of jostling about and things like that. So it's not like he just sidled up out of nowhere. There's lots of people around.
Well, I think they're going to approach them. Just kind of get close, a little closer.
And then,
yeah, like silent treatment. Like, just kind of like turn their head a little towards them.
So as you get closer, the pilgrim sort of looks at you. Get a better look at this face. Seems to be an orc of some kind, weathered and clearly a wastelander. You are one of the servitors, yes? You travel with the Wasteland Prophet, Gildan?
Yes.
And he looks back and sort of looks around. We would pay handsomely for information that he possesses. Are you interested?
We
represent association of like-minded individuals who have interest in information that Gildan has.
I would like to know more about your organization first.
We are dedicated to the advancement in this decrepit age of the arcane arts. A great many things have been lost to us, and we wish to restore some of that glory.
What do you want to know?
We we have heard a rumor that a companion of his who he used to travel with, one with a great connection to the land, was recently slain, and we seek his grave. We wish to know where Gildan's companion lives. Trifling matter to you, I'm sure.
I don't personally know, but I could find out.
That'd be very, very fortunate for both of us, I think. We could profit from this greatly.
Where could I find you?
He hands you a copper ring of some kind. This one seems engraved with spidery sigils. I can contact you through this. If you feel it growing warm, that is me attempting to make contact.
And it works one way. I don't know anything of the arcane arts.
Forgive me. You can concentrate on it, and your thoughts will reach mine.
Okay. We'll be in touch.
He nods at you, and I'm pleased that we were not misinformed about your kind. I am glad we could reach an arrangement. And with that, he passes the ring into Nenizan's hand, and then makes an attempt to sort of blend back in with the crowd as he walks away. It's an average attempt.
An average attempt. Yeah.
I don't know what your passive perception is.
16.
Yeah, it's fair enough, but doesn't escape your eagle eye. And you see others in the crowd who are dressed in a similar manner. There's probably a dozen or more of them dispersed throughout the crowd. Most of them are around where Enoch and Barnabas and Gloshisha have set up their pavilions where they do like card readings and things like that. Some of them are even near Gildan where he's buying components, but none of them have approached him.
Okay.
Are people looking at him weird? Or at them weird? Sorry.
Not especially.
No?
Like Josh was saying, Nenizan sticks out like a sore thumb. So he's pretty easy to spot in a crowd, but nobody's like especially paying attention to them. I don't know, how hard does Zelly look?
Well, I think that she would just kind of look around looking for her fave dried insects seller and would kind of spot him, but does he look kind of lost?
I mean, sort of lost, yeah.
Sorry. Okay. Then she will approach them and be like, you stand out a lot.
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. I it's the robes, I think. Forgive me.
No. That's okay. Why do you have that look on your face? Are you all right?
Oh, I'm perfectly fine. I just I've never. What are you then? You're that. And he sort of like the realization of who he's talking to kind of comes. You think, you're that warrior, the human that they found.
Human.
Sometime last year, yes?
Maybe. Who's asking?
I am Gomog.
Gomog. I'm Ellie. Nice to meet you. And she like extends her hand, kind of.
It's like the hand that shakes like a weathered orc hand. Seems like someone who spent a lot of time outside and is well past his prime.
Is it a strong handshake?
Feels like it would have once been. It's a firm but not the strongest handshake you've felt.
Okay. You could tell a lot by somebody's handshake.
What about my handshake then, Ellie?
You're tired and desperate for answers.
His eyes narrow at you. Yeah, we all seek answers to things. Should not begrudge the petitioner their questions.
I'm just stating facts. Just live your life, be happy, but just don't go poking around places you shouldn't.
That is wise advice. If only your people had followed it, they might still rule this world. And he attempts to make his break with that.
Probably, but I'm still here, so
He looks back over his shoulder at you.
I'm going to use the message cantrip to get Ellie's attention.
Okay.
Would you speak with me?
You're hearing it is in your head.
I'm over here, next to the purple bananas.
I look over.
I don't know why I said that.
Yeah.
But I know why you said it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking about purple bananas. Yeah.
And she'll go over to them.
Okay.
What do you think of that orc?
He's scared and a little shady.
You give me this, and then I'll present the ring.
I inspect the ring long and hard. And then maybe she'll do an insight check. No, investigation, I think. And maybe do her best to see if maybe Myrrh had something similar.
Sure.
Does Nenizen see anyone else
Both.
His friends?
Real quick. So, I mean, Ellie, it kind of resembles something like that. That all kinds of spell focuses, looks like an arcane thing. And Ninizen's looking for what now?
For anyone else of his friends, his
There's like 2 or 3 other servitors in the crowd. You see the as yet nameless one who's with Barnabas at the moment, and then like one other who seems to be palling around with some goblins.
Okay.
But there's not a lot of them, and there's maybe like less than a half. There's only like 5 or 6 that even live in Trade Town. During this entire time, as this has been going on, this carnival cart thing has been setting up, and shortly before mid-morning, they begin their performance and announce themselves as a sleek minx traveling troupe of wonders. And they come out. There's like about 6 of them. They all seem to be Wastelander types, hobgoblin, orc, a plucky bunch. There's a lizard folk stagehand even. And they begin putting on a series of short vignettes and plays, that describe and the word escapes me, fictionalize events from the Wasteland and sort of like folk legends. There's a play about the Medusa and several other events. They're not getting it all accurate, as some of you who were present for some of these events, can attest to. But it's entertaining. And they draw a fairly large crowd, Sleek Minx does. You guys are able to find what you want at the market for reasonable prices. Is there anything else you'd like to do in Trade Town, or you guys itching to head out?
Not really, but I think Ellie would ask Zen. She's going to call you Zen. What that orc wanted.
He wanted to know where Blue was buried, and he wanted to. Jim, correct me if I'm wrong. He wanted Gildan.
He wanted Ninizen to find out from Gildan where Blue was buried, and he seemed to think that you would be amenable to this kind of thing before he even talked to you.
Yeah. How did he also know that only Gildan would know?
As he says that, I'm going to check my bag to see if that puppet...
Still there. The puppet's still there.
Okay.
Haggle.
Okay, cool.
Although just a puppet now, I think. Yes.
You're gonna follow that map,
yeah, it's still there.
All right. Well, do you know where he's buried?
No. Nope. But I would. I'm curious to know why someone does want to know that. Thinking of doing something mischievous. I don't know if I should.
Like what?
Like giving this signal ring to another servitor? Actually, no. Zen calls them survivors of Lang. What he refers to himself as.
The survivor of Lang.
Mm-hmm. So he would say another survivor of Lang. Setting up a sting operation. I don't know why I would call it that because I don't know the reference, but sting operation. You know
what this ring does?
Yeah, Ninizen knows innately about telepathic things. He's being telepathic, so he would know. Doesn't know what the magic, or they don't know what the magic is, but they know that that's what this facilitates. People who are not telepathic could potentially be telepathic. So yeah, they convey that to Ellie.
Do you think we should tell the rest of the group?
Most definitely.
That was a test, and you passed.
Good.
Ellie will remember this.
In the corner. That's great.
Nice.
And then she heads off to like her favorite insect cellar.
Oh yeah. It's just like, oh hey, it's been so long. You should try out this blend. And other than that, you guys have the free run of the marketplace for as you like.
Are any of
Lots of things to
Ishtar's minions there?
Oh yeah. You see not all of them. It doesn't look like Shade or what's the other one? Sees Through Lies is there. But you see Yox and he's like walk. He's hard to miss, right? He's like a 9 foot tall, half over kind of guy.
Yeah, that's the one that I intimidated that one
Yes.
time.
Mm-hmm. He and Bekroith look like they're having a drink together, like in one of the beer tents, just like having a good laugh.
Okay. I'm gonna walk over there and ask him what he knows about the North.
You just like approach.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Mer. Hi. The North. Oh yeah, that's right. They sent you up there. Yeah, it'll be a great time. I think all the. Yeah. I mean, gosh, all those rocky vistas and barren. Yeah, it's a great place. What do you want to know?
What type of people live out there? I saw that heard some things about Jando's Rock.
Oh yeah. Jando. I mean, Jando's kind of a shady guy. I didn't like him that much, but he keeps the.
Did he ever have any problems with the Fellowship? I know Ishtar did some more time up there.
Yeah, most of the things that we hunted were of a bestial nature. Things we didn't want making their way south. Occasionally, the deranged sorcerer, that kind of thing.
Of course.
Yeah. But Chando, he's just he's a warlord. He just wants his tribute and
shady
tough.
warlord. Okay.
Yeah.
Do you know where this portal is that this army supposedly came out of? What area of the North?
He kind of he's like yeah. It's like he kind of like actually starts pointing. It's like that way. So it's like I don't know. It's supposed to be in the hills north of the Horn. Yeah.
North of the Horn. Is this the same portal that we found earlier?
Yeah.
Okay, she just wanted to kind of see if it was like that portal, if there was a new portal that had opened.
Oh no, it seems to be the same one.
Okay. Excellent. Well, you just keep enjoying your drinks here. Thank you very much for information, and please let me know if you forget anything or feel like I should know something.
Oh, sure. Well. Yeah, whatever you need. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I'm gonna pat him on the shoulder, and as I'm saying, like, and if you feel like there's anything, I'm gonna cast Modify Memory on him.
Okay.
I just want to. She's just curious. She hasn't used this spell yet. She wants to see how it works, and she knows Ishtar has been, or maybe it was not Ellie, messing with it. But she's like, yeah, he's had his mind messed with before. This shouldn't be too hard.
Right.
What's a wisdom saving throw?
Let's see. No, I got like a 9.
Okay, yeah, he'd be a 17.
Okay.
All right, so I'm gonna basically modify his memory to make it seem like we had just a great conversation. He told me what he knew, and that during this conversation, he was starting to maybe have doubts about Ishtar's work up there. Like, why did Ishtar come down here if she was doing such great work in the North? Why aren't they sending Ishtar, who's familiar with that kind of, just kind of planting that in there?
A seed of doubt, finding a memory within the last 24 hours of an interaction with it and sort of like twisting it to let that doubt. Yeah. He gives kind of a stupefied look for a moment, and then shakes himself free from whatever was going on. It's just
I'll order him another drink.
Oh, great.
Thank you. You've been so helpful.
Oh, my pleasure, Mur. We're all in this together, right? Like,
Of
we
course
gotta
we
look
are.
out for each other.
Fellowship needs to stay strong.
He tries to hug you.
I'll allow it.
Okay. He's, he gives you a big hug.
Prestidigitate.
And he's got that inner elbow sweat.
Yeah. He's really
Like you can hear he can hear his skin like unstick from itself, like as he opens his arms. You're welcome.
Then I'll tell Berkovic, like, just don't get too drunk. We're leaving in the morning.
Oh, sure thing.
Then I think, unless there's anything else. Oh. We're just gonna find Icky.
Yeah.
So Icky, do you remember?
You find Icky like hiding behind a shed with a bunch of other people throwing dice.
Okay, yeah.
Icky is losing as usual.
I see any of them cheating at dice, or is Icky
They
just
probably wouldn't need to. Icky's just really bad.
Icky lost to some tiny servants.
I forgot about that. Just sighs a little bit. I'll have to teach you some better dice game later.
Anything that requires subtlety, Icky's not gonna be good at.
So remember that person that I had over last night?
No.
Molly Mock?
No.
No. Okay. Well.
He was asleep.
Oh. Well, I had someone over last night. And we are going to a city with a demon and then investigating a bunch of infernal army stuff. I figured it might not be bad to have forward scout. I was thinking about hiring them to do stuff, as long as you're able to tolerate them.
Who is it?
Do you remember when we met up with Rix's crew?
Uh-oh.
Not the ones that murdered him, but the one that the Asimar, very, very pretty. Not a lot of brains, but pretty and strong.
Oh, Balu liked him.
Yes, well.
She
That
pours one out.
Yes. I think he might be a valuable forward scout. To suss out any danger if we find a corpse, we know there's trouble.
If he dies, win-win.
Nice. All right, he's hired.
Great.
No emotional attachment to this stranger.
Yeah. Basically, because it was a person of Rix's crew, she wanted to ask Icky before.
Oh, yeah. He may or may not have gotten Rix killed, so it's really win-win if he dies.
So yeah, Mer will just, that night, if he comes over again, she'll offer to hire him to kind of be with maybe some of the Drow scouting parties. She'll write a nice letter in Elvish for him to give to the Drow to kind of be with their forward scouts to get as much intel. So when we meet up after the demon place, or has current info and isn't going in blind.
Gotcha. He comes over and is small talk early on. Oh, sounds great. Yeah, Drow. Yeah, that'd be great. Any recommendation would be, I guess, open doors. And he's
equal opportunity employee.
Yeah. Oh, sounds like we're going a different direction then.
We'll meet back up after a little trip on the way to the investigate the armies is done. Yeah.
Anything else y'all are looking to accomplish in Trade Town before you head out? All right. Yeah. As the next day dawns, you are, Mer's skiff is readied, and loading up with all your supplies, the thing that you've done, and then everybody load up and head out. All right. You're headed north this time, and you've traveled northward recently before, but you're going to be heading past the Medusas, the sort of petrified forest where the Medusa dwells. So it's going to take several days just to kind of get to the area where you are, where you're headed. The thing that I'm curious about before we close out here is sort of like anything that you want to accomplish on that, this sort of the first leg of this trip. And I guess that's it. Anything that you guys want to do in this first little bit?
I think just before they all head out and everything, like the night that Molly came to sleep over, and then the next morning, Icky would what is the word I want to say? She would cut him off at the pass at like before he leaves town. Just like, give me all of the information you have.
Oh, about Rick's. He and Stanker got into it. I don't know. Not long after we were ambushed by those ghouls. They argued for, I don't know, felt like weeks about it. And we're making our way north. We were gonna, I don't know, join up with one of these war bands that Mull had found and said would be a great gig for us. But after a night of arguing, they got a bunch of the crew together. Frankie and some of the others, and attacked Rick's. I wasn't there for it. We were out with other members of the crew drinking and stuff, but Stanker said that they'd killed him. He was the leader of the crew now, that they were going to head to the city, talk to some demon. I don't know where they did the deed or what exactly they did, but I didn't see Rick's after that. And Stanker didn't seem to want us asking any questions. I left the first chance I got.
Icky will carefully consider, and then she'll like nod, and she'll kind of like put one gargantuan hand on his shoulder, say, Stanker has stolen a death from me. I will get it back.
He kind of like, you see him like genuinely for a second look at Icky and just be like a shudder or a certain, like, just like a creepy, like, yeah. Yeah.
Leave notes for me if you find him.
Yeah, sure thing. I'll leave him in the usual places.
Good. And she will like reconsider for a minute, and then she'll thank you.
Oh, yeah. No problem.
Back to work.
Yeah. See you around. He hoists his sword and walks towards wherever it is. Towards
like a Final Fantasy character.
Yeah, his hair blowing in the wind.
It's too bad there's nobody there to appreciate.
Right.
He's just like,
Can make a lot of rope with that hair.
Yeah, soft. Actually, you know what? Icky does appreciate hair, but it would be way too long to fit in the jewelry box. So.
All right. So Icky has this encounter with Molly before leaving, and you set off in the skiff. Familiar enough feeling as Myrrh pilots the craft northward, zipping past the Tree of Andrus and the hills north of there, onward to the rocky, dusty desert that lies to the north. Now, the region that you're headed to is hilly, full of broken terrain, lots of dry gullies and sort of canyons and things like that. The people that live here are the monster worshippers, the people who have fashioned themselves with scarification and the like.
Really
most of them
too.
most of them have been those who have fled and are refugees, are in little camps and the like all through the southern portions of this region. And by the third or fourth day of travel, you see at least half a dozen or more every day, as it looks like they've just made ad hoc arrangements as they've fled south. I'm curious as to like I said, what sort of like any goals or things you'd like to accomplish on this portion of the trip? And are you guys making basically like a beeline to this place that you've heard about, Jando's Rock, or are you going somewhere else first?
I think we're going to the city of ghouls first.
Okay, so I guess I don't think I was clear earlier. That's way norther than.
Oh, that's way more north.
That's
okay.
further north than this little where the hill, Ghost Hill, and Jando's Rock are.
Well, then I guess if they're skirting the outside of the drow, she'd have sent Molly Mock that way, and they'll kind of skirt up on the other side.
Okay.
Maybe talk to some of the monster people who have been fleeing from it,
Sure.
and then kind of meet before the army.
Okay.
Meet up with the drow.
Stop at some of these camps that you find along the way. Okay. Most of them tell the same story and really kind of just confirm what Myrrh already knows, that this army showed up and demanded either join them or perish. They talk, almost everyone tells us a similar tale. Some people join, some people don't. Sometimes it's a whole village, sometimes it's just one or two people. Every time the newest recruits are forced to be in the first wave of attackers for whatever village that resists. And some of the refugees tell similar stories about these mass sacrifices and what they only describe as like a killing spree that happens in front of this burning figure almost nightly, and insane laughter and cackling coming from the camp as well. Yeah.
So I guess after getting some of these stories, beeline it towards where the drow scouts Myrrh would assume would be.
Okay.
They're headed north, and so we're coming up from the south. We're not going to run into them. So drow time, drow city time, or camp.
And so anyone else, you'll probably stop at several of these little camps along the way, talking to these wasteland barbarians.
Well, the only I think priority Minizen would have would be to share with the group the warm copper ring. And the very strange interaction. Also, his idea, or their idea, of the old switcheroo.
Do I know of this magical organization?
You do not. You don't. No.
You're more underground than me? How rude.
Maybe you're the same level of underground.
We're probably just the same level. We've just never tunneled them. Yeah. Just parallels.
Yeah.
She's like, I'll have to make contact with these people.
But yeah, they're wearing Ninizen, you notice they were all wearing sort of similar garb. You give like the full description, everything.
They're wearing red robes.
Yeah, they sound like the pilgrims who were at Baloo's shrine.
Mysterious.
Oh,
we took their money. No money.
We did.
I did. Their money.
They were impressed by a song and dance from
Oh my gosh, the legend of this 7 shrine deity with his mouse beetle avatar.
So you've shown them this ring, then.
I propose that we do a bamboozle, that we take another of the survivors of Lang and fool these people.
Or we can keep it and continually feed them false information.
That is much more devious than my plan. I'm impressed. But I do think we should trick them.
I would love to speak with them.
Good. He'll or they'll give the ring over. Yeah.
Okay.
Do
All
you
right.
want this? You have this.
What does Myr do with the ring?
Mm-hmm.
Just kind of study it for a little bit.
Okay.
She is a bard. She can't. She's not like she can drop her accent when she wants to, but she's not quite sure if it'll fool telepathically.
Right.
So she's like, She's gonna ponder how she can. She's like, well, if I killed Ninizen and stole his shadow, no, I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
I killed another servitor and so I
Right.
stole his shadow. Then I used the telepathy. That would
Yeah. Did they say that they
Impersonate.
all have the same thought voice?
That's a good question.
Right.
We're going up north to see
Probably
the dragon.
do.
Maybe we'll run into Memnon.
Maybe so.
Make contact.
So Myr has the ring that Gamog had given Ninizen. Any last order of business before we close? Sounds like you guys are on the right track. As you leave one of the refugee camps that these people have scarred themselves up to look like great big worms that burrow through the earth. You know, they've got like these sort of snaky, kind of tendrily tattoos and scarification on them. The most extreme of them going so far as to bind their limbs in an act of devotion. You notice that there's something at Myr's feet. Something is black and slinky is winding its way around Myr's feet. A six-legged kind of creature, but small and seems fluffy.
Small, black, slinky, fluffy, six-legged. I'm Mage Hand. I cast Mage Hand because I have it now because I got a new cantrip. I just kind of pick it up.
Uh-huh. And it's sort of you look at it, it's looks like a cross between a Persian cat and a pug. A sort of a weird not a hunchback, but sort of like an arched back with a smushy kind of face. Its eyes have a sort of intelligence to it, though. And as you pick it up, it meets Myr's gaze, and in Infernal, greets Myr. Greetings from Duke Phimius. We have business to discuss. And that's where we'll close. So
I knew as soon as you said there was an army, I was like, I bet you it's Phimius.
Cashing in that favor.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, we'll call it a night for here. Appreciate everybody for coming out and seeing us and hanging out with us while we play. As the group makes their way northward into a war-torn land, hoping to go even further north to a city of ghouls ruled by a demon to find a weapon that can alter reality. How you guys doing? Josh, how's it going, man?
It goes. I am still well.
Excellent. I'm glad to hear that. I'm really glad to hear that. Where can we find you online? What are you up to these days?
You can find me at Beard for Charity. I'm on Instagram and Twitter, maybe some other sites if you can find me. Good luck. I mean, if you Google somebody, you'll find this stuff. Don't worry about it.
It's like a scavenger hunt.
It's like a scavenger hunt. I dare someone to find me. Just drawing and having a good time. That's about it.
There you go.
I never give clear answers to these things.
That's fine. Yeah, it's whatever, man. Excellent. Glad to hear you're drawing, and look forward to some of those pictures you've been working on. Anna, how are you, and where can we find you?
Hello, I'm doing great now. I missed you guys. Hoping it great holidays despite circumstances and all that stuff. You know the ones. But yeah, you guys can find me online on Twitch at Cyborg Pizza. Twitter and Instagram is AnnaBPhoto, and Patreon is AnnaBPhoto as well, doing stuff and things.
Awesome. Stuff and things.
Stuff and things.
Yeah, really moving and grooving. TK, how are you doing, and where can we find you?
It's me. It's TK. All right, spooky stories on the internet. If you like spooky stories, tkjwrites.com. Follow me on Twitter. TK joins the fray. I play a lot of games. And I'm going to start updating my Twitter with all the games I play because it's a lot. And that's it. Buy my book. Goodbye.
There you go. TK giving Lindy a run for money.
Untrue. Never. Your fave could never. I think even as I picked up more games and was like, I guess I'll play Dungeons and Dragons 7 times a week. I think Lindy was picking up the same number of games.
Right.
Lindy
I
quits
don't
the
know
game
if
so
she
can
actually
join
has a
3.
day job. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I
She's
saw
not
her.
human.
She's been streaming actual video games on her Twitch, and I'm like, when do you sleep?
She doesn't.
Lindy's
Sweet.
extremely online. I like it.
Holy crap.
Extremely online.
Extremely online.
Your faves could never.
There you go. Lindy, how are you, and where can we find you and all of these games that you got going?
I am doing a-okay. I am super happy to be home. I am super happy to be back playing tabletop RPGs. I was going through massive withdrawal over the past week and a half. Oh, it feels so good to get pumping back into my veins. I need it. I'm an addict. That's my secret. I'm just an addict. For sure. This is a busy month. I'm starting up a few new games. This month I'm DMing 2 of them. I'm a player in a couple of others. The ones that I'm DMing, you should definitely check out because, it's cool and I don't know. It's starting next week. So I'm to be on Tuesday afternoons before my Mists of Ravenloft on my channel. I am going to be DMing a Call of Cthulhu game on Encounter Roleplay, Beyond the Mountains of Madness. And Thursday nights after this, if you don't have anything else to watch, you can check out some Space Pirates as I'm going to be DMing Dark Matter on Scraticus's channel starting next week as well. So I have a lot of prep to do this week. So it'll be fun.
Good luck.
Thanks. Yeah, you can find me online at Laugh Love Lindy, Twitch, Twitter. I'll be posting my updated schedule as soon as I finish typing it all out because it's a bunch.
Sweet. Excellent. Thank you very much. And Grant, how are you doing, and where can we find you online?
Hey, everybody. I'm fantastic. You can find me online at WisePapaGrant on Twitter, on Twitch. I'm on many channels. I'm like 9 different games, 7 days a week. You can catch me next on Grimjack21502's channel tomorrow night, where I'm running yet another Invisible Sun campaign, Grammar of the Dark. You can catch Lindy in that one. It's pretty cool. It's I started designing my own supplements for the game, and these are my guinea pigs. It's actually a really fun game. You can catch me here. Yes, Lindy has murder boots. Actual murder boots. You can catch me here producing on WebDM Tuesdays for Starward Bound. Wednesdays I run the game Unearthly Twilights, and Thursdays here for The Land Between Two Rivers. So if you like things like these overlays and so on and so forth, hey, keep supporting WebDM so we can keep putting on good shows. I may be at MagFest at least one day this weekend. We'll see. I'm balancing my schedule. I got a new show coming out on Saturday nights on Encounter Roleplay that I'm super proud of. I designed a game system and cast players taking a new approach to streaming actual play RPGs, where it's a combination hybrid of GM-less consent-based storytelling games and story-oriented adventure games mashed up and bundled up in a beautifully blended together thingamabob. That's a technical term. That's where you can find me in a nutshell.
Sweet. Excellent. Looking forward to seeing that system in action. Thank you, Grant. Thank you, everybody. Really appreciate it. And we will be here next week for more Land Between Two Rivers. Until then, you guys have a great weekend, and we'll see you later. Good night, everybody.